welcome, it's Gamed Out Gamer. Another unboxing. Today we have three Atari 7800s in here. I did a Craigslist pickup today. Now I boxed this myself at the house, but here we are. We're going to, this was his box. We have, I guess this is my fourth now retro system. Okay, lots of stuff. Sheesh. This was cheap. People don't know how to price stuff. You get wild variations. So just look for the cheap ones. I guess we'll start with this. This is a, it says Sega. It's not a Sega. It's a Sega Gamepad kind of thing, but it's a Chinese, apparently a rip-off. But it works. You know, it's a Gamepad. Small Sega thing. Now this has an adapter, even though they're Atari 7800s, it has an adapter to use both buttons on the Sega Master System. Now the 7800 was the third most popular console in the late 80s. We got here 2600 controller. This is pretty, I don't know. You gave it to me for free. You get all kinds of stuff in this box. It's a small box, but all kinds of stuff, because I jam-packed it. Here we have another 2600 controller. This is a quick shot. I don't know who maybe SVI. Seemed pretty good. I think he gave it to me for free. He did. Okay, we have now this. He sold to me for $3 or some paddles for the 8-bit and 2600. I think there may be some games on the Atari 8-bit line that use these. I'm not too big of a fan of the 2600. It's nice, but I don't crave playing the 2600 games. Now the 7800 does play 2600 games. Now this is kind of a weird thing. The 7800, okay, Atari, you know, the video game crash of 82, 83, really Christmas 82, they had really bad news. But the 7800 was sort of more or less designed by the real Atari before it was sold to the Tramiel. But it was really released in 86. It sat on the back burner for 18 months. Here's pole position 2. I think this comes with the 7800. Now, I'm a big fan of the Atari 8-bit line, but the 7800 does have a more powerful graphics system. I think the graphics chip I just learned today runs at 7 megahertz, 7.16 or something like that megahertz. Wow, that's amazing. It has 100 sprites, which is, wow. I was playing Miss Pac-Man on this at his house. It does, one of these does work. I think the other one does work except the reset button, and the third one, this blue one here, says untested here, this label. This one doesn't, I don't think it works, but I will see. Here's two 7800 controllers. These were not the best. These were pretty bad. Not as bad as the 5200. Better. Has two buttons. Each button is, you know, registers as a different button. They're not identical buttons. They're not the greatest controller. Just the ergonomics of holding that like that and playing, that's no good. So I guess we have a third 7800 controller. Okay, so three 7800 controllers. Not the greatest. Here's cracked. Quite a few. Now the seller, people just don't know what they have. They're moving. He was moving. I got all this for $50. What do you guys think? $50 for all this. Okay, cracked. Amazing deal, I think. Cracked. I don't know. Never played this. Karateka for the 7800. Now I know Karateka, I think for the Atari 8-bit lines cartridge is quite rare. I'm not sure about the 7800. Actually quite a few games in here, not a whole lot. Wait a minute, I have 4 7800. Wait, I have 4? I didn't know I had 4. There's a fourth. He just started throwing them. Here's 7800 Pro System. Well, now I've got a 7800. This is too cheap. How could I not buy it? Now it was a hassle for me to get to his house. It took a while for me to get to his house. Wow, okay. Well, here's one. I don't know which one works. Here's two. 7800 Pro System. This one's broken here in the front and the back. I think this is the one that works. No, this is not. This is the one that works, even though the case is cracked. Now, the 100 sprites this is a powerful system. It is more powerful than the Nintendo Entertainment System, but it was not nearly as successful. To be honest, I think I would like to have a Nintendo system, but I'm not a huge fan of the story-driven kind of Nintendo games of the day. It's kind of, I was playing Stardew Valley, and that's certainly influenced by that era, the Nintendo style game. Here's this may, I don't know about this one. We'll see. We got 4 of them. Oops, my light is falling. This is a Cowboy Studio, by the way. Okay, 4 7800s. Wow. I was playing Stardew Valley on the PC. The patch just came out for multiplayer, but here I am playing it single player for the first time. I've had it for a year. I didn't play. Here, Alien Brigade and Tower Toppler. Some of these may not work, but a lot of them do. Most of them do. The most valuable cartridge in here is Ball Blazer because it has the because it has a pokey chip. It has the sound chip. Here's Galaga. Wow, Food Fight, Galaga. I love Galaga, the arcade game. Now the Atari really did. They wanted to go for arcade quality graphics. I think they more or less succeeded in that regard. Here we have Miss Pac-Man. This one does work. I was playing it. It's great. It's better than the Atari 8-bit. There's a 2013 or 2016 update for the Atari 8-bit. Maybe they converted this from the 7800. I don't know. But it plays very well on the Atari 8-bit. The AI is great. But this plays, I think, at a higher frame rate. Smoother. It's smoother. The 8-bit computer one is good too. Barnyard Blaster. Mean 18, a golf game. Fight Night. Now at the time I did not want a 7800. 7800, okay, Motorcycle. Choplifter. Maybe an improvement over the Atari 8-bit one. And 4 more. This is all $50. How could I not? Mission Impossible 7800. These are all 7800. There's no 2600 game in here. Baseball, 7800. Xevious. Joust. If you guys can see these too well. Now here's one of the Sega. Here, let me bring the brightness up so you guys can see a little better. I don't have overhead light. Okay, Sega, it says Sega, but it's not genuine Sega. The only thing about this, the buttons, see how tall the buttons are? They're not they're not bad. They're kind of soft and they have a nice rubbery feel. But they're a little tall. If I had a complaint. I don't have a complaint. Very short cable, but he gave me a free extender with it. So I have it here, DB9, you know, the Atari cable extender. That one's, I don't know, 6 feet. And now you saw the new one. That's the same thing as this. This is the new one unbought, never taken out of the box. We could do that. Fighting Putt. I don't know what it is called. 6B Sega. So 2 of these Sega controllers. Oh, here we have more games. More games. People don't know how to. Oh, here's Ball Blazer. This does work. I tested it. This has the sound chip, Pokey sound chip. So if you want a sound chip, like to make a stereo upgrade for your Atari 8-bit, you can do that. This is, you know, just the chip alone is. That's good. I want that. Huey. Super Huey. Robotron 2084, this does work. Robotron 2084, and this is, I think, better than the Atari 8-bit version because it uses the sprite, 100 sprites on the graphics chip. And Dig Dug. Well, this is cool. And I don't know, we have some kind of audio or cable or video. He thinks it's a video cable. This is not a video cable. He was using this RF. He offered me the TV. I'm going to go back maybe and get the TV. I don't know. We'll see. Because it's a CRT. There's the power supply. Only one power supply, which is fine. I don't need I don't need 3 simultaneous 7800s. The funky thing about this is the plug on the the console side is very tiny. You know, it's a proprietary. It's not a barrel connector. All right, so 21 games. It stopped recording. All right, I gotta figure out. Like this one is the prettiest, maybe. Now Atari was going to make it like much more. They were gonna have a keyboard and, but being sold, they were losing money They were just losing like $500 million a year, and in '83, I think, or early '84, they lost a lot of money. So they had to delay the 7800 launch, and then by then the NES was dominant. But the controllers on this were not good anyway, so you can't say that this... It probably would have done better if it was out early. Anyway, that's how it goes. The old Atari... Really, Atari died, in my opinion, in '84, and then it was bought by a former Commodore, Jack Tramiel, and then it just was really not the same. But even though this was released under Jack Tramiel, it was still designed by the former Atari company. So the 7800 was really finalized in '84. Alright, cool. Let's try it. Let's hook it up and see what works, and I gotta get the TV set up and everything. We'll do that. Alright, I think maybe that last cartridge did not work, because this one... There we go. I gotta get the volume now. It's not centered well, is it? And I can just tell it's so much more. The frame rate is so much better than the Atari 8-bit. So I'm using the Sega controller here. I have a better I was using the Craft controller I have is bad. This Sega controller is so much better. I need to get one of these little cheap things for my 8-bit for the Now the sound, the graphics are better on the 7800, but the sound is not as good because it doesn't have a pokey chip. This is this 7800. This is the one that's got a broken case. It's pretty bad. The case needs a whole... I think I need to move the board into one. The reason that there were four 7800s is because he kept buying them for the power supply, and he didn't... I think that's what he said. He wasn't getting the power supply, so he kept buying more of them until he got it. It kind of sounds like someone who doesn't... It's really tricky buying this old stuff. You can fall. There are so many pitfalls in buying retro hardware. I don't recommend it. Really, there's so many costs. Do you think you're going to get a deal? Think again. You're not. You're not. I mean, it's difficult to get everything working. Put it that way. I can tell the sound chip is nowhere near as good as the Pokey. It's a 2600 sound chip. But the graphics are so much more smooth, and it looks awesome. Oops. Alright. Yeah. So this is really cool. So maybe Galaga. Let's try Galaga. Alright. I can't help but want to play, and this controller is really nice. It's too bad Atari didn't release this sooner, huh? That's it. Alright, let's try another. Maybe you can get Galaga working. On to the next 7800 machine. This one is very nice condition. The other one was cracked and everything, but we'll see what happens. I've got Ball Blazer in here. Oh, well, that's good news. Yeah. All right. Wow. Now the 7800. Turn this down. This is one game that uses the Pokey sound chip on the cartridge, which is nice, but still, still not up to date with 1987. But the Maria chip is nice on this. I'm liking it already. The 7800 version of Ball Blazer is supposed to be the best 8-bit version. Let's try it. Higher frame rate than the 8-bit version. Yeah. I don't know if there's an AI. I guess there's no AI version. I don't know. Look how smooth the frame rate is, better than the 8-bit, the Atari. The Atari 8-bit version runs about 20 frames per second. And this, I think, I don't know, it might be 50 or 60? I don't know the frame rate. But this does have a 7 megahertz graphics chip. Awesome. So this 78, let's try Galaga in this one. Okay, I turned the volume down. Okay. This TV wasn't working. Like when I got it, there was a big discoloration in the top left, like from a magnet, but now it seems perfectly okay. Okay, here's Galaga. There, it's working. Now the first 7800, the cartridges were so hard to pull out that I think that's why it had major crack. The whole top half of the case is coming off, but this one is a lot better, and the cartridges seem to come out. Insert and come out much easier. Look at how smooth. It's even smoother than the arcade game Galaga, huh? Look at that. Let's try. The sound sucks. The sound is pretty bad. It's not a direct port from the arcade. I love Galaga. I absolutely love the arcade machine. I don't know how. Now the console has only 4 kilobytes of RAM, but it has up to 32 kilobytes on the ROM cartridge. So 32K games. Ah. The collision detection is different than the arcade. Where's my there. Ah, I blew up there. The sound is pretty bad, huh? Compared to the arcade machine. It's not terrible, but it's just not the same. And neither are the patterns. And they move different. I've never played this version of Galaga. I can flip the score on an arcade machine. I'd rather play on MAME than this, to be honest. On my PC. But I love the game. I love this gamepad. Alright, let's try another game. This game works on this console. Wow. Alright, here's the third 7800. I put Galaga in there just to try. Oh, we got something. There it is. Wow, so far so good. So this is same thing. Looks like it's working. It's all good. On the last one, the reset button does not work on the last 7800. I don't know about this one. Let's try it now. Yeah, it works. Okay, we got advanced, expert, novice, players. You can have 2 players. Okay. Let's try advanced. They move nice. The enemies move well. But I just don't like it's not the same pattern. Why didn't they take the same code? It's probably a different processor. You know, it's a 6502 versus a Z80 or whatever the other original uses. Probably a Z80. Oh, I don't like that pattern. How if you want to finish him, he goes right to the corner, huh? Where's my extra man? Oh, he's still up there. Look how they move right at the end. That's very confusing. I got him. I have double shooters. That's what I wanted to get. Oh, how they throw those bullets to the side. It's not the same game. Why call it Galaga when it's not really the... Alright guys, let's try the next one. See if reset does work. And it's got a pause button. Alright, let's try the next one. Alright, here we go. Oops, I didn't put a game in. Do we do Galaga just to check? Okay. You push the power button, the thing the thing flips because the feet are behind the power button, which is sloppy design. There it is. Look at that. It works. I think the reset button doesn't work. I just tried. Let's try reset. No. It's not a big deal. I can fix that, I'm sure. But 2 of these consoles, the reset button doesn't work. I'm not familiar with the platform too much. I'm still shocked to have learned it has 100 sprites, though. It was a successful console. They did make money off of it, as far as I know. Excuse me. I haven't gotten to challenge stage yet. See how the bullets really fly to the side? The arcade game does not do that. It does a little bit, but not like that. The entry patterns are similar, but not identical. And that makes a difference, because Galaga is such a precise game. Like, every little thing, every little movement in the arcade machine matters. This is a good game, it's just not the arcade. Oops, I missed one. I'm not familiar with the patterns here. Oops. $1,000. I know all the sounds. Wow. So you have 4 of them. This is crazy. I have 4 working 7800s. I went from 0. I went from 0 to 4. I was looking at them on Goodwill. I do not recommend Goodwill, just because the prices are so high. If you want to buy something on Goodwill, you can, but not something like this. Something like this is going to cost you on Goodwill. But if you buy something obscure that no one really wants, then you can get that on Goodwill. I got a free man. I only had to deal with 1 bee coming down. Oh, I need to call and thank him. It was hard to get. This was a difficult thing to go down. Oh, it took a long time. It was. Yeah. Oops, there it goes. Both of them. Awesome. Well, this works. I'm just. Let's try another game, huh? Let's try another one. I don't like how the cartridges insert in any of these. It's really sloppy feeling. There's Barnyard Blaster. I've never played on it. I've heard of it. I forget. I think it's a popular game, I think. I don't know if this game even works, though. That didn't work. Let's try again. I'll try to reseat it. It doesn't pull up. You gotta really try to pull the stupid thing out. It just doesn't clunk down. It feels sloppy. No. So this one may not work. This one's called Alien Brigade. See if this works. No, I don't think so. I'll try to reseat it. Ugh. Come out. Ooh. No. This is the problem with this platform, huh? I'm sure that there must be some way to fix it. No. Try another one. This one's Food Fight, and it inserted nicely. It had a good feel when inserting the cartridge. Food Fight. Okay, eat the cone, it says. I don't get, how am I supposed to shoot? I don't even, yeah, I just barely dodge. I don't understand what's going on exactly. I gotta get the cone, it says. How do I fight? You gotta pick up the food and throw it at them, I guess. Okay. Okay. Oh, he came out of the hole, right? You got food all over my face, huh? They're pies. Ah. It's not the most amazing game. To be honest, I don't like this game much. And here's Joust. If it'll work. Doesn't look like it will. Let's try to reseat it. Oh, I'm coming out. That's why these break. There it goes. There's got to be some way to fix that. There we go. Level 1 done. The sound is awful. The Atari 8-bit version is better sound. And the graphics here are not that much better. If maybe they're even worse. Oops, I should not have done that. Oh. No, this game is not the same without the good sound. And it really suffers here. Why did they... The Pokey chip probably cost them $1. Why did they cheap out on a Pokey chip? I guess for compatibility with the 2600. But no. No, it really suffers here. Oh, give it. There we go. There's that egg. Yeah. There goes the egg in the lava. It didn't even make a sound. I've been eyeing the 7800, but what? But it's not something that I really wanted. You know, like dying. But I like Miss Pac-Man. I like Galaga was pretty good, playable. Uh-oh, not good. Oh! No. Oh! Oh, I got a dragon or something. Oh, that's it. Thy game is over. The graphics are kind of not as good as the Atari 8-bit version. They're a little more colorful, but not as good, I think. Now this is the game I was kind of most excited about. But it's like a dual stick. I gotta get... No, I'm not set up here. I just had to hit record. Hold on. See if I can get this working right. Ah, shoot. Yeah, I need a way to grip the second controller. Stupidly, they've decided to make the 5200 controller so stiff. Yeah, because I'm using one 5200 controller and the Sega clone. I'll get this working one day. This is an awesome game, though. This is using the sprites. This is how Robotron needs to be played. This is awesome. The 8-bit version, the Atari 8-bit version is great, but this might even be better. The sound is not as good. The sound is worse, of course. They should have used the Pokey chip with this game. So you can, with two sticks, I can walk each direction. The sound isn't terrible, it's just nowhere near as good. And the sound is part of this game. It's part of what makes it so awesome. There's so much going on, and the sound, you know, is just awesome with even the Atari 8-bit version. If I can live here, hitting the tripod. All right, guys. Well, there it is. I guess I have 4 7800s. I only really wanted a good working one. I'm sure I can do something here. I just need it. I'll hook up the other Sega. But for now, this is what I have. Thanks, guys. I don't know what to say. Hope you enjoyed this. The 7800 is pretty good. Only 2 games use the Pokey sound chip that are included on the cartridge. Ball Blazer and I forget the other one. It's a decent console. It's better than the NES as far as hardware, but nowhere near the selection, of games. Iconic game. These are early 80s games, early mid 80s games. Alright, I've tried this one. I cleaned this up. This isn't too bad. A cleanly one. Once it's cleaned up. A lot of these joysticks are just so dirty. It's decent. I played with it. It's okay. It's not terrible. It's got a small stick. It doesn't have any name on the underside. I don't know what it is, what brand or anything. It's pretty good. It maybe needs some cleaning, or I don't know. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. I could play with it. These Seagull 78s, which were included, the seller just threw them in. These are nice. These are awesome. These adapt. These are $25 each. So these alone made the trip practically worth it. Not quite, but because it was, it was travel time and everything and inconvenience. But still, these are great. These are valuable. These things. Ed Ladden, he's on the Atari Age forums. These controllers that he included. These are the Chinese. There are two kinds of these. These are the Chinese ones, and then there's the Japanese. The Japanese have a label. They're still not. The Japanese ones are still not that good. What is it? Retro Man Cave has a very short review where he doesn't like them. These things, they're okay. They're not terrible. They're okay. They're not bad. I just have difficulty getting my thumb perfectly vertical with these. The handling is not the greatest. They're not terrible. They're okay. The buttons are not too tall. Some of the Sega controllers have much taller buttons. They're okay. They're not. They're okay. They're not bad. And included another one, obviously. So this is the other. Well, this is the used one. This was the one that was opened already, and this is. They don't look, when you unbox them, they don't really look new. There's like scuffing on the plastic that comes from the factory. Okay, and then there's this quick shot joystick. It was kind of gross, but it cleaned up beautifully. It looks almost new once it's cleaned up. It's not worn smooth or anything. A little bit of wear. It's made by SVI. You can see them on eBay. They're about $10. It cleaned up nice. It doesn't work. It doesn't do anything when I plug it. The button doesn't work. Nothing works. I opened it up. I cleaned it. I cleaned it and opened it up, and everything looks fine. So the only thing, it doesn't look like there's any problem internally. So maybe it's just the cord. I'm going to try a new cord. I'll replace the cord. I don't see how everything could not work. Look how shiny. It really cleaned up beautifully. These quick shots. It has a little bit of scuff here on this part of the shiny part of the handle. But these screws come out. You have to take these 3 screws out of the stem, and then there's 4 screws here on this, and then this part comes. These 2 halves come apart, and then you can take the whole top part of the case off. And it's very simple. There's nothing complicated inside at all. It's just I think it's just making connections with It's very simple, primitive. I don't see how anything could fail. There's no electronics or chip in there. So the only thing I can think of is that the cord is bad. I don't know how I don't know where, but apparently maybe it was pinched. It doesn't look like it was pinched. The cord looks fine. So why? Maybe I looked. It's all making connection. The cord there's a little PCB in there and it makes connection. I don't know, but it handles nice, and now I'm curious. I'll check reviews, but these quick shots may be pretty decent. I don't like the vertical. I don't like having to hold my hand vertically like this, a big stick. I don't care for that too much, but it holds well it's got a bigger handle on the left here to hold it. It may be fine. It's got a button on the top and a button on the base. I'm curious. I want to. Maybe I'll buy one on eBay if I can't get this working. I don't know. I don't need it though. I don't need to buy one. I can use those other ones. I got all kinds of controllers now. All right. I think that's everything for now. Have a good one.